Hey folks, I feel like I'm on the forefront of a pivotal new sector, a technology institutional investors are only just waking up to, and I truly believe this will become one of the greatest Canadian growth stock stories of the coming years. And of course, I'm talking about Aduro Clean Technologies, a company that I'm still buying shares in over time and recently started to pop up a little bit this week. And I think it has a lot to do with the recent news of institutions taking some interest in it, along with Pure Cycle Technologies, the largest player in this plastic recycling space, a $2 billion market cap company that recently just got a massive big thumbs up, a stamp of approval, and a massive investment from Stanley Druckenmiller. This guy's a multi-billionaire hedge fund, I think ex-hedge fund manager and a philanthropist. And if we scroll down and take a look at the recent filings, he bought new shares of Google, Tesla, but even took a bigger stake in Pure Cycle. And I do want to point out, Pure Cycle, I think, is going to be the precursor to where Aduro Clean Technologies is going to end up, because Aduro actually has much better control over polypropylene. They can take up to 70% of all plastics, recycling them, getting a 95% yield. This company is all cashed up. They have a licensing model that they're going to utilize with the 10 current customer engagements they have that are all multi-billion dollar companies with an average market cap of above 40 billion. Everything from food recycling or food companies that need to recycle plastics to municipalities to massive oil conglomerates, because they can actually upgrade heavier fuels to lighter fuels. They have much more malleability to this hydrochemolytic upcycling. And obviously they're also working on their own next generation plant that is going to be starting to build out in the latter half of this year. And I think, again, this company is slightly trailing Pure Cycle, but once they catch up, I think they're going to have much more growth ahead of them, especially if they can just convert one. They just need one of these customer engagements to actually convert to a payable client. Now, I want to read to you really quickly from Making Money Now, an poster that says Stan Druckenmiller, a legend in trend investing, just bought 1.6 million shares of Pure Cycle, about 1% of the company's outstanding shares. His backing further validates the growing investment thesis in plastic recycling, and this is excellent news for Aduro Clean Tech shareholders and highlights investor interest in the sector. Pure Cycle's mechanical recycling focuses on a niche area of plastic waste, but Druckenmiller's move highlights recycling's broader potential. This strengthens my conviction that Aduro's hydrochemolytic technology is the best-in-class plastic recycling solution, with upside in other verticals shown below, which we've talked about in the past, right? When it comes to recycling alone being like $120 billion market opportunity, but obviously renewable oils and bitumen upgrading, which is going to be more appealing to the energy sector when it comes to big oil giants. I think people are severely misstating how big that truly can be, and the fact that Pure Cycle can trade at a $2 billion level, even though they have a facility built out, and that's like their primary focus is just that facility. Aduro is going to have licensing, their own facility, and obviously like these new verticals when it comes to upgrading fuels. So I think people are really misstating the value of this company. These are opinions of my own. Obviously, this is not financial advice. It's just a company in a sector that I'm highly intrigued by. And if we take a look, as of recently, we've seen some articles too of basically really small positions, but starter positions coming from institutions, obviously like BlackRock that recently bought a small stake in Aduro. And this article kind of highlights that, as you can see, the numbers are not staggering. Like, these are pretty small positions overall, but they are pretty big investment companies like Citadel Advisors, One Wealth Advisors, even Royal Bank of Canada here. And again, they're buying fairly nominal stakes. We're talking like the biggest being like 22.2 thousand shares, nothing huge. But as these numbers are not staggering, but there are now 9 institutions that have purchased Aduro stock, and that is 9 more than the companies prior to the NASDAQ listing. One Wealth Advisor and Citadel Advisors each hold about 120,000 in Aduro shares. Institutions usually desire some level of liquidity and growth prior to investing to hedge against failure, and their purchases can often create a positive feedback loop with retail investors looking for basically signs that the company is on track. And Aduro has partnerships and collaborations with at least 3 multinational corporations under its belt, including energy giants like Shell and Total Energies, and is certainly tracking in a positive direction. Investors should look for continued and increased institutional participation as the years kind of go on and commercialization approaches. Aduro's closest peer, Pure Cycle Technologies, recently attracted that $20 billion investment from Stan Druckenmiller. This is a really neat article. I'll kind of leave the link below. They do touch on a lot here to kind of give you the full view of Aduro Clean Technologies. But as I sit today, this is a company where I feel like I can sit idly knowing that it is a tightly held float. Insiders own a huge position in this company, and they've been holding for quite some time, I think, realizing the potential that they are sitting upon. And I've worked closely with a lot of insiders in the company. I've seen friends that have actually gone and visited the facilities, and yeah, I get ever more excited about this company as time goes on. And yeah, it's not going to be the largest position in my portfolio, just to keep the risk a bit mitigated, but this is one of those companies where I don't want to wait idly, for people to start waking up to the reality of what it is, because again, it's trading in a very peculiar way to how a lot of small caps play. So we'll see what happens. These are just my personal opinions, of course, but I will pass it off to you. I'd love to know what you think in that comment section below.